Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Now this is a Sikh greeting which means Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, that we belong to one God. And whatever we accomplish is a victory of God, not ours. There are two greetings in Sikh faith. One is Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. The other is, you must have noticed, Sat Sri Akal, which with folded hand, with respect, you say, God is truth. The basic principle of Sikhism is no matter what you do in life, everything revolves around the presence of God and remembrance of God. And that's how the greetings are set up. Now, I would have never in my life, I came from India in 1976, that today is 2018 and prior first year, one day, in this city hall, which is in the United States, and the mayors will remember and give us the opportunity, and they will participate to remember Sikh genocide. This is something which can only happen in the United States of America, where this country's basic belief is you always stand on the right side of things. Now, Sikh faith originated in India. Before we start, as I told you, that everything revolves around the presence of God, and first we have to do our Sikh prayer, which ends with Sarbat Dabha. Our prayer is not considered complete unless at the end the closing line says, this prayer is for the whole mankind, for the benefit of the mankind. We pray for peace and also may Almighty cross the whole universe, and our Gyani Ji will do the ardas first. We'll do the prayer. Ardas means prayer, and then we'll start the program. Thank you. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
सतनाम श्री वाहेगुरु। एक ओंकार श्री वाहेगुरु जी की फतेह। श्री भगवती जी सहाय। वार श्री भगवती जी की पातशाही दसवीं। प्रथम भगवती सिमर कै गुरु नानक नहीं ध्याए, फिर अंगद गुर ते अमरदास। रामदास हुई सहाय। हर जन हर गोबिंदरो, सिमरो श्री हर राय। श्री हर कृष्ण ध्याई है, सिडिठे सब दुख जाए। तेग बहादुर सिमरे, करनौन धिया वै ताए। सब थाई होए सहाय। दसवें पातशाह श्री गुरु गोबिंद सिंह जी साहिब, सब थाई होए सहाय। दसा पातशाहियां दी जोत, श्री गुरु ग्रंथ साहिब जी दे पाठ। दीदार दा ध्यान धर के बोलो जी वाहेगुरु। पंजा प्यारियां, चौहा साहिबजादियां, चालियां मुक्तियां, हठियां जपियां तपियां। जिन्ना नाम जपिया वंड छकिया, देख चलाई तेग वाही। देख के डिठ कीता, तिना प्यारियां सचियारियां दी कमाई दा। ध्यान धर के खालसा जी बोलो जी वाहेगुरु। जिन्ना सिंघा सिंघणियां ने धर्म हित शीस दिते। बंद बंद कटाए खोपरियां, लोहाइयां चरखड़ियां ते छड़े। आरियां नाल चराएगी, गुरुद्वारियां दी सेवा लई कुर्बानियां कीतियां। धर्म नहीं हारिया, सिੱਖੀ के सासवासा नाल निभाही। तिना दी कमाई दा ध्यान धर के बोलो जी वाहेगुरु। पंजा तख्तां सरबत गुरुद्वारियां दा ध्यान धर के बोलो जी वाहेगुरु। प्रथमे सर्वत खालसा जी की अरदास है जी। सर्वत खालसा जी को वाहेगुरु। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਚਿਤ ਆਵੇ ਚਿਤ ਆਵਨ ਕਾ ਸਦਕਾ ਸਰਬ ਸੁਖ ਹੋਵੇ ਜਹਾਂ ਜਹਾਂ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਜੀ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਤਹਾਂ ਤਹਾਂ ਰੱਛਾ ਰਿਆਇਤ ਦੇਖ ਤੇਗ ਫਤਿਹ ਬਿਰਧ ਕੀ ਪੈਜ ਪੰਥ ਕੀ ਜੀਤ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਸਹਾਈ ਖਾਲਸੇ ਜੀ ਕੇ ਬੋਲ ਬਾਲੇ ਬੋਲੋ ਜੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ। ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਦਾਨ ਕੇਸ਼ ਦਾਨ ਰਹਿਤ ਦਾਨ ਵਿਵੇਕ ਦਾਨ ਵਿਸਾਹ ਦਾਨ ਭਰੋਸਾ ਦਾਨ ਦਾਨਾ ਸਿਰ ਦਾਨ ਨਾਮ ਦਾਨ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤਸਰ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਇਸ਼ਨਾਨ ਚੌਂਕੀਆਂ ਝੰਡੇ ਬੁੰਗੇ ਜੁਗੋ ਜੁਗਿਆ ਟਲ ਧਰਮ ਕਾ ਜੈਕਾਰ ਬੋਲੋ ਜੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ। ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਦਾ ਮਰਨੀਵਾ ਮਤ ਉੱਚੀ ਮਤ ਦਾ ਰਾਖਾਇਆ ਪਿਆ ਅਕਾਲ ਪੁਰਖ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ। हे ਅਕਾਲ ਪੁਰਖ ਆਪਣੇ ਪੰਥ ਦੇ ਸਦਾ ਸਹਾਈ ਦਾ ਧਾਰ ਪਿਤਾ ਜੀ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਨਨਕਾਣਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਤੇ ਹੋਰ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ ਗੁਰਧਾਮ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਪੰਥ ਨੂੰ ਵਿਛੋੜਿਆ ਗਿਆ ਹੈ ਤਿੰਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਖੁੱਲੇ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਦੀਦਾਰ ਤੇ ਸੇਵਾ ਸੰਭਾਲ ਦਾ ਦਾਨ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਪੰਥ ਨੂੰ ਬਖਸ਼ੋ ਹੈ ਨਿਮਾਣਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਮਾਣ ਨੇ ਤਾਣਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਤਾਣ ਨੇ ਓਟਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਓਟ ਸੱਚੇ ਪਿਤਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ। ਧੰਨ ਧੰਨ ਅਕਾਲ ਪੁਰਖ ਪਿਤਾ ਜੀ ਧੰਨ ਧੰਨ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਗੁਰੂ ਹਾਜ਼ਰਾ ਹਜ਼ੂਰ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਪਾਵਨ ਓਟ ਆਸਰਾ ਲੈਂਦਿਆਂ ਹੋਇਆਂ ਦਰ ਕਰਦੇ ਸਮੂਹ ਸਿੱਖ ਸੇਵਕ ਜਥੇਬੰਦੀਆਂ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀਓ 1984 ਦੇ ਹੋਏ ਘੱਲੂਘਾਰੇ ਦੀ ਯਾਦ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀ ਆਪ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਸਮੂਹ ਸੇਵਕਾਂ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਉਪਰਾਲੇ ਕੀਤੇ ਗਏ ਹੋਲੀਓਕ ਦੇ ਚੇਪਤਾ ਜੋ ਸਿਟੀ ਹਾਲ ਵਿਖੇ ਸਮੂਹ ਸੇਵਕ ਹਾਜ਼ਰਨ ਸਮੂਹ ਸੰਗਤਾਂ ਹਾਜ਼ਰਨ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਕਰਨੀ ਜੀਓ ਪਾਪੀ ਕੋ ਡੰਡ ਦਿਓਏ ਜੈਕਾਰ ਕੀਓ ਧਰਮੀਆਂ ਕਾ ਪਾਪੀ ਕੋ ਡੰਡ ਦਿਓਏ ਪਾਪੀ ਕਰਮ ਕਮਾਵਦੇ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਏ ਹਾਏ ਨਾਨਕ ਜੋ ਮੱਥਨ ਮਾਧਾਣੀਆਂ ਤਿਉ ਮੱਥੇ ਧਰਮ ਰਾਏ ਦੀ ਮਹਾਵਾਕਾਂ ਅਨੁਸਾਰ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀ ਸਿੱਖ ਕੌਮ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਜ਼ੁਲਮ ਢਾਏ ਅਤੇ ਕਤਲੋ ਗਾਰਤ ਕੀਤੀ ਸੱਚੇ ਪਿਤਾ ਜੀ ਉਹ ਆਪਨੇ ਬਖਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰਕੇ ਸਮੂਹ ਦੋਸ਼ੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਜ਼ਾਵਾਂ ਦੇਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਇਹ ਜੋ ਉਪਰਾਲੇ ਸਿੱਖ ਕੌਮ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਕੀਤੇ ਜਾਣੇ ਆਪਨੇ ਬਖਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰਨੇ ਜੀਓ ਚੜ੍ਹਦੀ ਕਲਾ ਕਰਨੇ ਹਰ ਮੈਦਾਨ ਫਤਿਹ ਕਰਕੇ ਨਿਵਾਜਣਾ ਜੀਓ ਸਮੂਹ ਸਿੱਖ ਪਰਿਵਾਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਸਿਰ ਤੇ ਮੇਰਾ ਭਰਿਆ ਹੱਥ ਰੱਖਣਾ ਸਮੂਹ ਸੁਸਾਇਟੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਸਿਰ ਤੇ ਮੇਰਾ ਭਰਿਆ ਹੱਥ ਰੱਖ ਕੇ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਪੰਥ ਦੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਕਰਨ ਦਾ ਬਲ ਉਦਮ ਚਾਓ ਬਖਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰਕੇ ਨਿਵਾਜਣਾ ਜੀਓ ਸਹੀ ਪਿਆਰੇ ਮਿਲੋ ਜਿਨਾ ਮਿਲਿਆ ਤੇਰਾ ਨਾਮ ਚਿਤੇ ਆਵੇ ਨਾਨਕ ਨਾਮ ਚੜ੍ਹਦੀ ਕਲਾ ਤੇਰੇ ਭਾਣੇ ਸਰਬੱਤ ਦਾ ਭਲਾ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਬੋਲੇ ਸੋ ਨਿਹਾਲ ਸਤਿ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।
The English translation of the prayer is that Vaheguru, he said Vaheguru, say Vaheguru, which means remember the wonderful Lord. At every stanza, there are 3-4 stanzas in it. At the end of each stanza, you say Bolo Ji Vaheguru, that say and remember the wonderful Lord. That's the meaning of that. What it does, you remember the people who gave their life for the righteousness. That's how the prayer starts. First you remember those people who stood on the side of the righteousness and gave their life for the righteousness. And then at the end you say, God, you are the honor of the dishonored. You are the sport of the unsported. Then you end the prayer. That's how while you're praying for all of the universe. We are here to gather today to remember the Sikh genocide of 1984. And November is the month when people were burnt alive. Females were raped in front of their families. And children were roasted on the cooking ranges. age 1 year, 2 year, they did not care. They did all that. They took the tires, put around the neck of Sikh people who had turban, who has any sign of being a Sikh, and then put petroleum on them, gasoline on them, and burned them alive, roasted them alive, and put tires around them so that they cannot run around. All these things took place. The origin started that in 1947, when Britishers left India and they created Pakistan and India. And Britishers offered Sikhs to have their own country called Khalistan. And Sikhs said that we want to stay with India. So they believed that India will treat them the same type as they treat other citizens of the country. They did not. Since 1947, they mistreated Sikhs, mistreated the province where Sikhs were living in Punjab. And Sikhs has a list of things they wanted India to take care of them, create a state on the basis of the mother tongue Punjabi, and give a fair share to the farmers for their crops, so on and so forth. There are like 10, 15 demands of Sikhs. The waters, natural resources of water for Punjab should be used for the benefit of the Punjab. But they did everything. They took the good areas of Punjab, gave it to other provinces, made a small area, and every step of the way they were doing discriminations with the Punjab because this is a state where Sikhs lived. So one day in June 2nd of 1984, the holiest shrine of Sikh is Golden Temple, Amritsar. And our fifth Guru's, Sikhism founder is Guru Nanak, as we know. You must have done a lot of Google on Sikhism. And the fifth Guru was put on the hot plate in the month of June, and hot sand was poured upon him because he compiled a holy scripture called Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji. And Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji doesn't profess any faith, any religion. It's our Reverend present Guru is Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji, has 1,430 pages. Because I really have to tell you this background to get to the point where we are today. There's only glory of God in it. So he compiled it so that people can stay on good deeds and under the remembrance of the God all the time. And he added things which the regime wanted him to add in the Holy Scripture because they didn't belong to the philosophy of being democratic and neutral and just worship the God in a pure manner. So he was put on the hot plate and he was burnt alive. That is the day that happened sometime in 16th century. And that was the day on 1984, the fifth Guru Martyrdom Day was being celebrated in our holiest shrine called Golden Temple in Amritsar. And thousands of people were gathered in that compound. Children, male, female, young, old. And under the order of Indira Gandhi, government of India, they wanted to somehow, they said this is the golden opportunity to kill as many Sikhs as we can, because they are all gathered in that compound, their holiest shrine. So they brought the tanks and started bombarding, and the whole compound became a bloodshed. So you can label that day as a Holocaust in a holiest shrine sponsored by the government by using their own military, which they were supposed to use to protect the borders, and they used the military weapons and military arsenal to kill their own citizens, those who are peacefully celebrating the Martyrdom Day of the fifth Guru in June 2nd of 1984, and the whole place was bloodshed because they were making genuine demands. That genuine demand, the list is called Anandpur Sahib Ka Mata, resolution of Sri Anandpur Sahib. So you can Google that, resolution, Sikh resolution of Anandpur Sahib, which has all the demands Sikhs had. And you can see as the right person that what their demands were. And this is what they did. Because their aim was to kill Sikhs, that was the only aim. So as a result of that, when two bodyguards of Indira Gandhi, when they came and saw what they did and their conscience didn't allow them to protect Indira Gandhi, they gunned down Indira Gandhi in November. They came home and on a vacation and saw what happened. They were in Delhi, this happened in Punjab, and they gunned down Indira Gandhi. As a response of that, now there are two theories on this thing. That some people say that was a response of that November 1984 genocide. But lists were already prepared. On October 31st, Indira Gandhi dies and she was assassinated. On next day, and they were going into Delhi and rest of the country and going into Sikhs' homes. How did the list got prepared in one night? They had a list of people where Sikhs lived. That means some people say whether Indira Gandhi was assassinated or not, they would have created a second genocide all over the country to kill Sikhs, but now they took that as an excuse. But lists were prepared, ammunition came together, all the government machinery was utilized to kill six holy shrines, which we call Gurdwara Sahib, the worship places, which you can call the churches of the Sikhs. We call Gurdwara Sahib Gate of the God. And our holy scriptures are burned, and the business was looted. In spur of a moment, people who gathered their properties, their business, all their life from generation was turned to ashes, and people were burnt alive, women were raped, and children, little small children were put on the stoves and roasted in front of the mothers. That's the kind of genocide took place. And the whole country was shut down so that there's no communication, no telephone, no reporter, and like this was a dark days for 3 to 4 days. And this happened throughout the country, whether you are traveling in the trains, whether you're going on a scooter, you're in a bus, you Sikhs were killed. They were pulled out of the trains and killed and roasted and murdered. Until today, here's what, I was just trying to Google Sikh genocide. Somebody says, I lived through the Sikh genocide for 34 years, but I'm not ready to forgive and forget. How can you forget a genocide like this? Can any one of us go outside and say, Jews should forget about the Holocaust? Can we do that? It's not possible. This is 10 times more than that. How can Sikhs forget 1984? The worst part is those who sponsored it, they were given highest posts in political circles by the Indian government because they killed Sikhs. They were rewarded, and instead of being punished, they're still walking free on the streets, and not even one person has been punished that they caused this genocide. How you could call a country like this a democracy, and India claims they're the largest democracy in the face of this earth. You go there right now. Right now, little girls are raped in temples. You cannot get anything done in any office unless you bribe somebody. That's the greatest and the largest corrupt machinery on the face of this earth. And I'm not just saying it because I'm a Sikh, but this is a fact. The missionaries from other countries are not allowed to go into the country to help people who need help. They are being refused visas. There's an organization called RSS, which has been designated as a terrorist organization by the US government. They are being part of the government of Modi regime. Modi himself was an RSS member, and he still is. So they are right now, they're calling all the kind of injustice with Christians. Christian priests were killed, they were beaten to death. Christian churches were demolished, and Muslims are also treated the same way. Sikhs, of course, are being treated since 1947 the same way. How could you claim that? And President Obama, when went there last time in India, and in his speech he told that we should learn how to treat minorities. There's a part of his speech, if you can go and check that out. So, something like that when it happens, right people do the right things. You cannot make wrong a right by propaganda machinery. Until today, Indian government is trying to make a wrong right through their wrong government-sponsored propaganda machinery. But a country like this, where you can, is a country where you can pursue justice, happiness, that is the fundamental belief. Have you ever seen anybody going unpunished in the United States? Sometimes you read in the newspaper, a senator did something wrong 5 years ago, or 10 years ago, or somebody, political person, and got punished by the law. Whatever they did, you read in the newspaper, because ultimately justice prevails here. Right people are given the right rewards, and those people who do the wrong things, they are given the punishment by law. That is the rule of this country. And nobody is above the law. But in India, it depends who knows whom and who does what. Government can do anything, kill anybody at any time, and there's no you cannot pursue justice. That is where we are. And unless we remember these days and raise the voice in the newspaper and media, which we have, the social media these days, this machinery will get the message out like a fire, and then someday a justice will prevail. And we are so thankful to you. Again, I'm saying, I feel so proud here, standing here, and in mayor, witches, and the councilman, and this belongs to people's house, where you are on our side and taking the time of your busy life and remembering that Sikh genocide and standing side by side with us. This means a lot to us. And I don't think I have any words which can explain that how we are moved with this thing that you are standing next to us. This means a lot for us. So this is the age of information. There's a ton of information on internet, you can read it. Some information is right, some information is wrong, because the information which is on the internet by the government of India, that's wrong. They're saying 2,800 people died. Over 30,000 people died. And you read the figure from the government of India as 2,800. So I'm going to conclude here. We are thankful for the proclamation of the mayor, which is, you want to read it. We are thankful for also, in state of Connecticut, both the houses, Legislative Assembly and the Senate, they have passed a bill where, I think 489, which you must have seen on the internet, that they will, every year, they will treat this as a Sikh Genocide Day and Remembrance for this Sikh Genocide, which will be November 1st. We are so thankful to you that you took the time and took on the right side of history. Thank you. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa. Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Like you hear everything Mr. Manmohan Singh Rana, he say about it. We did same thing in Connecticut as passed law by Assembly. And the day we was there, trying to remember the day on Saturday, Indian ambassador sent an email to Kathy Austin, Kathy Austin, who's a senator of Connecticut, told her, don't do that for them. These people are terrorists. Ambassador legally cannot do that because he don't have no right to write any email to the elected official. So now he's being summoned for that. And I'd like to thank you, Alex Moore, our Talman, our city council, and Alex Moore team, and putting this effort for us, because it was a short notice to everybody, and we couldn't because next week is going to be a Thanksgiving weekend, and then after that, Mayor doesn't have any time. But she did a good job and preparing everything. We was talking to each other by the email, or actually not email, but by the phone. And thank you for that. And I have a note from David Barley. He couldn't make it. You know, he sent his wishes to people who lost their life in 1984. And like Mr. Barra said that, you know, it was genocide, and India still trying to say it's not. It was battle between true group. It wasn't a battle. It was pre-planned. You know, I left India in '88, and I came here. I was spreading in some other country before I reached here. I came here in 1990. It's been almost 29 years. Never been back. I've been here, and I feel their pain because we've seen that. It's happened to us, and I think I was 15 and a half when the first time it was a Sunday, and a cop came at my home and arrested me and tortured me for like days and days. So we had that pain, and we felt that pain, and I'd like to thank you everybody to be coming here, Mr. Himmat Singh and Baljinder Singh, Remembrance Singh all the way. It was a working day today. Everybody couldn't make it, but thanks to again Alex Moore. And this effort we're doing by World Sikh Parliament, who is a umbrella organization for the Sikh. We try to build this organization so we can fight for our right. And we was trying to go to GNA before, but we don't have any organization where we can present ourselves. So now we build this World Sikh Parliament, and Himmat Singh is the coordinator of the US unit. So tomorrow we're going to UN for the commission to present our case. We did that in Geneva last couple of weeks ago. So that's what we have, like Connecticut started the same way what we started here. This is the first city for us being brought a part of this city. This was the first city who announced April 14 as a Sikhism Day. And today is Alex Moore and his whole team and City Council Tom standing with us, remembering those people who lost their life and announced as a Remembrance Day. I really thanks for that. Thank you very much. And I'd like to give you mic now and say a few words here. Thank you very much. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Well, thank you, Tony, for your words, and thank you all for being here today. As Tony mentioned, this is our second event with the Sikh community here at Holyoke City Hall, recognizing the contributions of the Sikh people here in Western Massachusetts and Holyoke and across the valley and really across New England. I know folks have traveled from New England and even New York to be here, and just appreciate you taking the time to recognize this day and this month with us this evening. I do want to, as Tony mentioned, thank Nilka and Andres in my office. I know they worked closely with Tony over the last couple of weeks to put this event together on short notice. And we look forward to working together in the future to make sure we continue to mark April 14th, Sikhism Day, here in the city of Holyoke, and continue to promote, obviously, what happened in India in 1984 and the years following. And I know we have our community media station here, and so we'll continue to get this message out to residents of Holyoke and beyond. I think not only have I been naive as to what happened in India, I can only imagine that residents in general here in the United States don't fully comprehend what had happened in India in 1984. And so we thank all of you for bringing this to our attention. As Tony mentioned, I do have an official proclamation. I do want to thank my colleague in government, Peter Tallman, representing the City Council. He's the City Councilor at large. He's here tonight, and he was also here last year, early in 2017, for the event in April, and a strong supporter of our efforts to be inclusive here in the community. And Tony, as we know him, is a great small business owner for many years in the city of Holyoke, and we welcome him bringing these events to City Hall for residents to enjoy and appreciate. So I'll read the text of the proclamation, and then I also have a proclamation on behalf of our state representative, Aaron Vega, who couldn't be with us this evening. Whereas the Sikh community, which originated in Punjab, India, and began immigrating into the United States over 100 years ago, has played an important role in developing this country and the state. And whereas Sikhism is the world's 5th largest religion with nearly 30 million adherents, including roughly 700,000 here in the United States. And whereas the Sikh genocide of 1984 took place post-assassination of Indian Prime Minister Indira Gandhi in Delhi, Jharkhand, Madhya Pradesh, Haryana, Uttarakhand, Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal, Himachal Pradesh, Orissa, Jammu, Kashmir, Tripura, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing these correctly, so bear with me. Beginning on November 1st, 1984, and lasting 3 days, an estimated 30,000 Sikhs were brutally murdered or died as they were hunted in their homes, hacked, and burned alive. And whereas the California State Assembly on April 16, 2015, unanimously passed Assembly Concurrent Resolution number 34, which recognizes the systematic and organized killings of Sikhs by the Indian government in Delhi and remembers those who lost their lives during the 1984 Sikh genocide. And whereas eyewitnesses, journalists, and human rights activists have compiled evidence showing that the government and law enforcement officials organized, participated in, and failed to intervene to prevent the killings through direct and indirect means. And whereas as recent as 2011, mass graves have been discovered in the villages of Handuchilar and Pataudi in Haryana, and many more will continue to be discovered in the future with Indian government officials and police flouting impunity. And whereas the Widow Colony, the Tilak Bihar neighborhood in New Delhi, still houses thousands of Sikh women who were forced to bear mass rape and witness the hacking, burning, and murder of their husbands, their fathers, their sons, are still calling for justice against the perpetrators. And whereas many of the survivors of the Sikh genocide eventually immigrated to the United States and established large Sikh communities in places such as Fresno, Yuba City, Stockton, Fremont, Glen Rock, New York City, Philadelphia, among other places. And whereas the Sikh community in America has recovered from the material damages of the genocide, they continue to keep the memory alive and will never forget the genocide of 1984. And whereas for years, the term 1984 anti-Sikh riots was used to describe the events of November 1984, which was a distortion and wrongly implied. Recognizing the state-sponsored violence that targeted Sikhs across India in 1984 is an important and historic step towards justice, accountability, and reconciliation, which we hope to be an example of today to other city and municipal governments across our state and across our country. And therefore, in that spirit, I, Mayor Alex Fremorse, do hereby recognize the month of November 1984 and this month as Anti-Sikh Violence in India as Genocide Month in the City of Holyoke. In witness whereof, I have heard to set my hand and cause the official seal of the City of Holyoke to be affixed. Thank you.
My phone is there. I'll take a picture. Can everybody come here?
Can I say the...
Oh, yeah, you still have to...
Just one more. On behalf of our state representative, Aaron Vega, who represents us in the State House, from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, be it hereby known to all that the Massachusetts House of Representatives offers its sincerest congratulations to the Sikh community of the United States in recognition of your important work bringing visibility to the Sikh genocide of 1984 and preventing such atrocities in the future. The entire membership of the House of Representatives extends its very best wishes and expresses the hope for future good fortune and continued success in all endeavors. Given this 14th day of November 2018, signed by Speaker of the House, Robert A. DeLeo, and offered by our own state representative, Aaron Vega. Thank you.
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Now I'd like to Mr. Peter Talman to come up there for say a few words. Thank you.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here tonight, representing the city of Holyoke as a city councilor at large, and thank the mayor acknowledging the Sikh community here in Holyoke. I was here back in April of last year and really felt a connection to the people, the Sikh community here in Holyoke and in the surrounding areas in New England, Connecticut, and New York. As we heard earlier tonight about, righting the wrongs and people on the right side, righteousness. And that's important to believe in today, with so many bad things happening, that people that do wrong should be punished. And we have to realize that one God, that we all have to believe in and we look to the best of everybody and everybody, no matter where we come from, that we have to respect all peoples, and respect what they have to say, and really remember the bad things that happened, especially in 1984 in the Sikh community. It's an important time to remember the losses of the people and really to commemorate the people that really respect what happened in the Sikh community at that time. And we got to realize that all people, we have to strive to be best in our community, to be best in our country, and most of all, be best in our world, and respect all people no matter where they come from. And with that, I'm grateful for the community to come here today in our City Hall and really to commemorate this event in the Sikh community. And with all that, I say God bless.
Thank you. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Now I'd like to ask Mr. Baljinder Singh, our community member from Holyoke, New York, come up on the stage and say a few words. Thank you. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa.
Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Good evening to everybody. It is my honor and privilege to speak on this case on behalf of Sikh Genocide 1984. And Mr. Singh explained everything before me, what happened in those 4 days, from November 1st till November 4, 1984. Around 30,000 plus Sikh get killed and women get raped. Around thousands of worship places get burned down, and our holy script, which is the Guru Granth Sahib, around 10,000 of those burned down by systematic organizer by the government of India. Is called genocide because it's 34 years there's no justice for any body who's get killed in this genocide by the Indian government. And first thing we have to learn from this kind of genocide, which is sponsored by the government, this can happen again and again and again. And I'm really thankful for this City of Holyoke Mayor Alex Moore and their cabinet for feeling our pain, what did happen with us. I still hearing those screaming of the children, the women's mothers get raped in front of the family, and men get put the burning tire in around their necks. That's the way they kill all the Sikh in India. And most important, they get the list where the Sikh lives, and mark their door. And night before, Sikh living here, they put the sign 1 cross and 2 cross. That means if Sikh live on the rent place, they put 1 cross. If Sikh live in they own their place, they put a 2 cross. The meaning of if 1 cross, they come they kill the people inside the house. They don't burn the house because they know this whole house belonged to the other Hindu gentleman, because Sikh here living on the rent. If there are 2 crores, they kill the people, rape the women, and burn their house, and burn their store and property. I'm not taking so much time, and thank you, Mr. Alex Moore, and their member, everybody who feel our pain. Thank you very much. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Now we have a letter. Junior Dhaliwal have a couple words to say. So can you come on the stage, please?
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Myself, Harman Singh Taliwal, would like Alex Morris to announce the 1984 Sikh Genocide as a Remembrance Day. Waheguru Ji Ki Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
You can say one more time because we couldn't see your face. Sorry. Alright, go ahead.
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Myself, Harman Singh Taliwal, would like Alex Morris to announce the 1984 Sikh Genocide as a Remembrance Day. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
He's starting with a small speech, so. Yes, one speech, last one. It's going to be in Punjabi. So it's a. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Last person, Sardar Himmat Singh. He's going to say a few words in Punjabi, so because we need one video in Punjabi to put in the media. If you don't mind, so we'll explain to you after that what he's saying. Sardar Himmat Singh Ji, come to the stage, please. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. I really thankful Mr. Alex Moore and City of Holyoke who feel our pain and today recognize Sikh Genocide 1984. ਮੈਂ ਨਾਲ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਦੱਸਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਜੋ ਇਹ ਮੈਸੇਜ ਸਾਡਾ ਇਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਸਾਡੀ ਕੌਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਜਾਵੇ ਕਿ ਅਮਰੀਕਾ ਦੀ ਸਟੇਟ ਮੈਸਾਚੂਸਟਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਿਟੀ ਆਫ ਹੋਲੀਓਕ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਅੱਜ 1984 ਸਿੱਖ ਜੈਨੋਸਾਈਡ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮਤਾ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਰੈਕੋਗਨਾਈਜ਼ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਆ। ਜਿਵੇਂ ਅਮਰੀਕਾ ਦੀਆਂ ਦੂਸਰੀਆਂ ਸਟੇਟਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪੈਂਸਿਲਵੇਨੀਆ ਸਟੇਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੋ ਮਤਾ ਪਾਸ ਕੀਤਾ ਗਿਆ ਪਿਛਲੇ ਹੀ ਦਿਨੀ 119 ਜਿਹੜੇ ਮੈਂਬਰ ਸਨ ਸੈਨੇਟ ਦੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਬਿੱਲ ਨੂੰ ਪਾਸ ਕੀਤਾ। ਇਸੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਕਨੈਕਟੀਕਟ ਸਟੇਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਔਰ ਕੈਲੀਫੋਰਨੀਆ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਕਈ ਸਿਟੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹ ਬਿੱਲ ਪਾਸ ਹੋਇਆ, ਜਿਸ ਬਿੱਲ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਮਝਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਅਮਰੀਕਾ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਡੀ ਪੇਨ ਨੂੰ ਮਹਿਸੂਸ ਕਰ ਰਹੀ ਆ ਇਹ ਗਵਰਨਮੈਂਟ। ਸਾਨੂੰ ਆਜ਼ਾਦੀ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਡੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਦਸਤਾਰ ਸਾਡੇ ਕਕਾਰ ਅੱਜ ਅਸੀਂ ਪਹਿਨ ਕੇ ਸਿਟੀ ਹਾਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਖੜ੍ਹੇ ਹਾਂ, ਜਦੋਂ ਕਿ ਪੈਰਲਲ ਅਸੀਂ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਭਾਰਤ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੋ ਇੱਕ ਵੈਲ ਪਲੈਨਿੰਗ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਯੋਜਨਾਬੱਧ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ 1984 ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਿੱਖ ਜੈਨੋਸਾਈਡ ਪੂਰੇ ਭਾਰਤ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੋਈ। ਸੋ ਇਹ ਅੱਜ ਸਾਡੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਦਮ ਆ ਉਸ ਭਾਰਤੀ ਡੈਮੋਕ੍ਰੇਸੀ ਦੇ ਝੂਠੇ ਮੁਕੌਟੇ ਨੂੰ ਨੰਗਾ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਵਰਲਡ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹ ਦਮਗਜੇ ਮਾਰਦੇ ਆ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਡੈਮੋਕ੍ਰੇਟ ਕੰਟਰੀ ਆ, ਪਰ ਨਹੀਂ। ਡੈਮੋਕ੍ਰੇਟ ਕੰਟਰੀ ਅਮਰੀਕਾ ਆ,
ਯੂਨਾਈਟਿਡ ਸਟੇਟ ਆਫ ਅਮਰੀਕਾ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਦੀ ਪਾਵਰਫੁਲ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਕੰਟਰੀ ਆ, ਤਾਕਤ ਆ, ਸੋ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਕੰਟਰੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਨਸਾਫ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਆ, ਜਦਕਿ ਇਹਦੇ ਉਲਟ ਭਾਰਤ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮਨਿਓਰਟੀ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ, ਚਾਹੇ ਉਹ ਕ੍ਰਿਸਚਨਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਚਰਚਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਢਾਉਣ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੋਵੇ, ਚਾਹੇ ਉਹ ਮੁਸਲਮਾਨਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਮਸਜਿਦਾਂ ਨੂੰ, ਔਰ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਦੇ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ ਅੱਜ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆ ਉਹ ਪੂਰੇ ਭਾਰਤ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਢਾਏ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਆ, ਔਰ ਨਾਲ ਦੀ ਨਾਲ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੀ ਬੇਹੁਰਮਤੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆ ਉਹ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਪੂਰੇ ਭਾਰਤ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪੂਰੇ ਯੋਜਨਾਬੰਦ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਭਾਰਤੀ ਸਿਸਟਮ ਦੇ ਪਾਲੇ ਹੋਏ ਉਹ ਲੋਕ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਭਾਰਤੀ ਸਿਸਟਮ ਆਪਣੀਆਂ ਏਜੰਸੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਖੁਦ ਅੱਜ ਵੀ ਕਰਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ। ਸੋ ਮੈਂ ਸਮਝਦਾ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਅੱਜ ਅਸੀਂ ਵਰਲਡ ਸਿੱਖ ਪਾਰਲੀਮੈਂਟ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਮੈਂਬਰ ਹਨ, ਸਰਦਾਰ ਗੁਰਨਿੰਦਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਧਾਲੀਵਾਲ ਤੇ ਨਾਲ ਭਾਈ ਬਲਜਿੰਦਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਜੋ ਨਿਊਯਾਰਕ ਤੋਂ, ਅਸੀਂ ਸਮੂਹ ਮੈਂਬਰ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆ ਮੋਹਨ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਭਰਾਰਾ ਔਰ ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਪਰਿਵਾਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਇਸ ਈਵੈਂਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਏ ਹਾਂ। ਸੋ ਮੈਂ ਸਮਝਦਾ ਇਹ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਵੱਡਾ ਸ਼ਲਾਘਾਯੋਗ ਕਦਮ ਹੈਗਾ ਗੁਰਨਿੰਦਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਧਾਲੀਵਾਲ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਐਫਰਟ ਕੀਤਾ। ਇਸੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਆਉਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਸਮੇਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਦੂਜੀਆਂ ਸਟੇਟਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਦੇ ਐਫਰਟ ਕੀਤੇ ਜਾਇਆ ਕਰਨਗੇ। ਔਰ ਪਿਛਲੇ ਦਿਨੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆ ਉਹ ਕਾਫੀ ਬਿੱਲ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆ ਹੋਰ ਸਟੇਟਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਉਹ ਪੇਸ਼ ਕੀਤੇ ਗਏ ਆ। ਆਉਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਸਮਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਬਿੱਲ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਪਾਸ ਹੋਣਗੇ। ਔਰ ਕੱਲ੍ਹ ਨੂੰ ਹੀ ਨਿਊਯਾਰਕ ਦੀ ਧਰਤੀ 'ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਹਿਊਮਨ ਰਾਈਟ ਕਮਿਸ਼ਨ ਨੂੰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਆ ਉਹ ਅਸੀਂ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮੈਮੋਰੈਂਡਮ ਦੇਵਾਂਗੇ ਵਰਲਡ ਸਿੱਖ ਪਾਰਲੀਮੈਂਟ ਵੱਲੋਂ, ਜਿਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਭਾਰਤ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਮਨਿਓਰਟੀ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਔਰ ਖਾਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਵਧੀਕੀਆਂ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ 1984 ਤੋਂ ਔਰ ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਕਹੂੰਗਾ 1947 ਤੋਂ ਅੱਜ ਤੱਕ ਕੰਟੀਨਿਊ ਜਾਰੀ ਆ। ਸੋ ਉਸ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਵਰਲਡ ਵਾਈਡ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਦੀਆਂ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਪਾਵਰਫੁਲ ਕੰਟਰੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵਰਲਡ ਦੀਆਂ ਪਾਵਰਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਉਸ ਡੈਮੋਕ੍ਰੇਸੀ ਦੇ ਝੂਠੇ ਮੁਖੌਟੇ ਨੂੰ ਨੰਗਾ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਉਹ ਮੈਮੋਰੈਂਡਮ ਦੇ ਰਹੇ ਆ। ਸੋ ਮੈਂ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਕਰਦਾ ਹਾਂ ਅਗੇਨ Mr. Alex Moore and team members who recognized today 1984 Sikh genocide. So thank you very much. God bless America. ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।
Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Thank you, Mr. Himmat Singh Ji. He was trying to give the message to the world, like India was trying to show the world they are a democratic country, but they are not. Because last year they burned 7 churches and they killed almost 60 Christians in South. And then one human rights dedicated from DC, they want to go to India to check out their people, but India denied their visa. So they can't go there and they try. So that's what he say, like, they're not democratic. America is a democratic country who does listen your pain, stand with your pain. So we are very happy to be part of this country, part of this culture. And thank you very much again, Mr. Alex Moore, Mr. Talman, and you especially. Thank you very much. Thanks for everything. God bless America. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. I'm going to end this with the 5 jakaras. Please.
Bole Sonihal.
Sat Sri Akal.
Bole Sonihal.
Sat Sri Akal.
Bole Sonihal.
Sat Sri Akal.
Bole
Sat Sri Akal. Sat Sri Akal. Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Now I like to every member to come in the front so we can, Alex Moore can represent the proclamation. Thank you very much. Thanks for everybody for coming.